The Prospective Marriage Visa, Subclass 300. Hi everyone, my name is Traci Chen and I'm a migration lawyer based in Australia. I'm currently the principal lawyer at Mason Chen Law Group. So it is a visa for those who are engaged to an Australian citizen or permanent resident. This visa is actually really good because it allows those people who aren't quite ready to, get into a de facto relationship or aren't quite ready to get married yet to still be able to live together in Australia before they kind of take the next step. The first requirement for this visa is that you must have an Australian partner. You and your partner must have met in person. So this works really well for some relationships where they've met in person, they haven't lived together, and they're not allowed to live together for personal or religious reasons. This visa actually works really well for them. So you have to have met in person. So you have to provide evidence to prove that. So either plane flight tickets, photos together, that's obviously the obvious one, and obviously statements from family and friends overseas or Australia where they have met. You can obviously have met anywhere around the world as long as you have proof of that. Once you lodge that visa, there's certain evidence that you have to provide for that visa to be granted. However, once this visa is granted, you're allowed to travel to Australia, live and work in Australia for 9 to 15 months. It actually used to be 9 months, but they've since updated it to 15. Now, according to the department website, these visas are taking anywhere between 9 to 15 to 24 months to be approved. I must say I've had experiences where they have taken really, really long. And what I've heard that is that it's dependent on the passport country that the visa applicant is from. Some offices just work faster than others. I can't say which ones are for sure. However, from experience, Taiwan has been quite slow and the UK office has been really, really fast. Just from my personal experience. However, look, it could really go either way and you could get the grant in as quick as, say 9 months. So back to how you can actually apply for this visa. So you're in a relationship with an Australian, you haven't lived together before for 12 months, and you're not quite ready to tie the knot yet. This is the visa for you. When you lodge this visa, you need to provide evidence that you have met each other in person, provide photos, statements from family and friends. Obviously, you need to fill out a nice long form online, and then you need to provide evidence that you guys will get married in Australia after you arrive. So it could be a letter from the marriage celebrant, which is usually what we provide to the department. You need to provide evidence of your genuine relationship. Now, the standard here isn't quite as high as a partner visa because obviously you probably haven't lived together before, you don't have those evidence, but this is some of the evidence that I would provide based on the kind of 4 aspects that they look at when they're approving a partner visa. So number 1, your social aspects. So most definitely when you guys have met in person, you can provide photos of you together. You can provide photos of family and friends and just you two. Secondly, it would be great to provide some statements from family and friends. Now for your family and friends who are Australian, they can complete a form 888, which is a statutory declaration for Australians to complete because you must provide evidence of being an Australian to sign off on that form. And if you have obviously family and friends overseas because you met overseas, they can complete a statement, just a standard statement on a Microsoft Word document and they can sign off on it. Very much accepted. And if you have the evidence of hanging out together, with friends and family, most definitely attach that evidence to it. The second aspect you would look at is nature of commitment. So what I would provide in that area would probably be, phone records. So calling each other on a regular basis. If you're calling each other on Facebook, you can screenshot those messages so you can see when that call started, when it was and how long it was for. I've seen ones that was 3 hours and 6 minutes, or WhatsApp or Viber. When my clients are starting this, I do tell them to also send us the messages because it is good because they get to see, how it develops throughout the day. Good morning, what are you doing now? Oh, I just got back from home. All that evidence is quite good. So I tell my clients to use WhatsApp and Viber because you can export those messages. Because if you use Facebook, it takes a very, very long time to screenshot all those messages. For some people it goes back years. So I had someone that said, it took them years to get it. So crazy. Other evidence you can put into nature of commitment would most definitely be traveling together, going to the movies together, just providing those tickets or going to the theater together. All that kind of stuff is quite good because it shows that you're doing it together. Then there would be nature of household. Obviously, it is not required for you to be living together. That is why it's called a prospective marriage visa. It's about being together once you are granted the visa. However, you can provide a statement to talk about how you guys have talked about living together as a household and how you will actually share the chores, do the cooking, do the cleaning, and how you guys will operate as a unit when you live together. That's all actually pretty strong evidence. The fourth one is financial aspects. And I do always ask my clients to do this because I think it's really important. As you would have seen in my previous videos, the department put a lot of weight on the financial aspects of it. So what I always tell clients to do is to regularly send each other money. You know, it could be small, it could be something like, you know, $100 a fortnight or something like that. But that regular, you know, kind of commitment, financial commitment is great evidence for this sort of application. Because if you are intending to kind of be in a relationship together, it's kind of expected that you'll share your money. You know, sending gifts and sending other little things is also very good. Or buying each other Uber Eats or whatever it may be, however it works. Just some little kind of, you know, financial evidence would be really good for this application. So the whole purpose of this visa is to allow you to travel to Australia, spend some time, 9 to 15 months to be exact, to make a decision to get married and then lodge the partner visa, which will eventually lead to permanent residency for the applicant. A lot of my clients do pick this pathway because A, they don't meet the requirements for a partner visa, and B, they just don't want to quickly, you know, get married and do all of that just for the purpose of the partner visa, but they want that time to spend together. If the Australian is in Australia and they want to, you know, be together and reunite, some people may lodge a tourist visa so that the person overseas can travel to Australia. However, as you know, the tourist visa only gives you 3 months in Australia. And some people just need that longer time, or they don't want to be flying in and out every 3 months. And there's other issues with flying in and out every 3 months as well. So say, for example, you've lodged a visa, then after, you know, 9 months, it gets granted. There is a date that you must enter in before. So you enter in before that date. Then the whole point is that you must start that relationship with the Australian. You have to live together. So let's say, for example, after 9 months, you lodge this visa and it's granted. You travel to Australia and you start living with your Australian partner. That is the entire point of this application. You are given those 9 to 15 months. You must get married within those 9 to 15 months. Once you're married, then you can lodge the partner visa. It is absolutely a requirement before the prospective marriage visa ends. Now, I had someone ask me, you know, what if we don't get married? Well, your visa is granted for that amount of time. So you can come to Australia and you will do whatever. However, if you want to continue to stay in Australia, you have to lodge that visa. If there's a relationship breakdown, can you lodge another visa? Technically, yes. If that happens, let me know. I'll be able to provide you further advice on that one. However, yes, if the relationship doesn't work out and you want to continue living in Australia, look, there may be other pathways, but that's something you need to look into detail. Now, you may all be wondering, do you have to pay twice for this? Because this visa actually costs quite a lot of money. So when you lodge the prospective marriage visa, it's going to cost the same as the standard partner visa, which is like $7,850. And then when you arrive in Australia, you get married and you're about to lodge part 2, which is the actual partner visa. I've got a video on that. I'll leave that in the link below. You don't need to pay this extra $7,850 again. You just have to pay an extra $1,310, I think, roughly, to lodge your partner visa. Whereas other people, if they meet the partner visa requirements and they lodge that first, they just have to pay the $7,850. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Please share your video with other people who are maybe thinking of applying for the visa or thinking of applying for any Australian visa. I have lots and lots of videos I've talked about. Have a look at my channel. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon.